Welcome to our presentation on how to set up 123Sync on Exchange. Before you get here, you must have already done the following things. 123Sync must be installed and licensed. The ACT has to be accessible from 123Sync. That means that the ACT client has already been installed. MAPI CDO is installed and working, so you have already installed it and made sure that it's working according to the video tutorials we have. You've already set up the Exchange Gateway login or credential, depending on what Exchange server you're using. And you have the Exchange permissions, they have all been set properly. If any of these settings have not been done or you haven't had time to set it, you have to do it. Otherwise, 123Sync will not be able to connect to Exchange. Well, let's get back to our 123Sync and then let's set this up to access the Exchange folders. One of the things I always do when I go into different users, always make sure that the ACT login succeeds. So if you go there and just test for the ACT login, just make sure that the software can actually log into the individual user. By default, we provide the Outlook interface. So what we're going to do is change this to Exchange, and we have an account, C. Huffman. We call it 34, and our server is 123 add-ons server, and we do a test. In this particular case, we get failed to log in to Exchange mailbox. We know that the server exists, this name exists, but it fails to log in. What that indicates is that C. Huffman 34 does not exist on the Exchange as a user. So that's really not a user that is there. So, and what happens is when you do that, the Exchange server is just telling you that this user just does not exist. So since we've made a mistake, we go and say C. Huffman and then click a test. Now we get the succeeded login to Exchange mailbox, and now this tells us that this user does exist in Exchange. In many cases, if we keep getting an error when we running the test, what I recommend is to go and look at the processing log. Click on open the log, and in this log we can actually look at any errors that occurred during setting up for Exchange. The best way to get stuff related on the log, let's just go into 35, call it this 35, this fails, or we can just try and select a folder. Since this user does not exist, it's reporting an error. So we just go to the processing log, and from the log we should be able to see what error we're getting. On the error we're getting failed to log on to Exchange mailbox. So it's really it's telling you that it's either not there or you have an incorrect password. In our case, this mailbox does not exist. So we call it C. Huffman, and we just click on open the folders, and we get the list of folders. In this case, it's the contacts, and you'll see this particular icon, and these are Exchange specific icons telling you that this is a mailbox on the Exchange server. We click OK, and then same thing for the calendar, and here we have the calendar. So since all our to do is go to the calendar, we really don't have to select any tasks. Now just remember that each setting is specific to each user. So if you want to go to the second user, you will have to select the different folders for this second user as well as to the first user. So now that you've selected the Exchange contact and calendar folder, now you're ready to sync. So you have the mailbox set up, you have the username set up, so all you have to do is press sync. But we recommend that before you do that, just click on what you want to put on Exchange. we recommend that you look at the contacts filter and see what data you want on Exchange. So do you want all the contacts, or do you want just a calendar, or just emails, or do you want just to-dos and meetings, or a particular group? So these are decisions, these are design decisions that you have to make before you do the sync, because it really helps as far as the speed, and so you don't make too many mistakes. As well, another part that is very important to look at is the synchronization options. Here you can control whether you're going to overwrite everything in Outlook, or whether you're going to add stuff from Outlook back into Act. And we provide a set of preset options that you can actually control. So now that we have set up the Exchange mailboxes, we are ready to sync. So we just click on the synchronizer button and we'll get the user that is actually being selected or checkmarked to sync. Just click on sync users, and now all the data gets synced between Act and the Exchange folders. So this is a very easy way of setting it up in Exchange. The hardest part is to actually go through the Exchange permissions and get that put together. But once you do that, 123 Sync is very easy to set up and run. And last but not least, let's see how we can actually sync with an Exchange public folder. Well, we saw here, if you click on the icon, it will show you the default, and we don't show any public folders here because we're type setting the folder itself. So if you want to sync to a public folder, you just click cancel and you get a question: do you want a public folder? And if you say yes, it will actually display the public folders on Exchange. So just go to any public folder that you have there. We have test2 contact public folder, and there you are. Just make sure that the contacts folder that you have on the public folders is really where you want to sync, because we do not do any type testing on it. It's just a regular folder where we actually deposit the contacts. The same thing with the calendar. So if you click on the calendar, you only get the default calendar. So you click cancel and you say yes, and now you can actually deposit the calendar items into a public folder. So you can go Tom's calendar, and there you go. Now we're putting all the data and we're synchronizing with public folders in Exchange.